Here is the schematic drawing of the series circuit. As you can see, it's one closed loop series from starting from here, going all the way around to the 330 ohm, to the photosensor, then to the LED, and back to the negative charge of the negative side of the battery. Here it is in the current flow. During daylight, it's going to be like a closed circuit pretty much, where the current's going to be able to travel through all the components and eventually power up the LED and return back to the negative side. And that this only will change if the battery is turned off, which will be shown here at night / dark. Here, the current goes through the first ohm, the 330 ohm, but stops at the photosensor because there's no light, which then cuts it off immediately. So here's the series circuit on the breadboard. So the positive charge is going to come from this side to this resistor right here, and then it's going to let the current run through, hit the LED light, which will then go to the photosensor, which will then connect to the ground. And here you can see that when I turn on the power supply, the LED turns on, and the photoresistor only has little effect when covered, but the LED is still on. But when I turn off the power supply, the LED is off. Here is your schematic of your parallel circuit. It starts from here all the way around to the 330 ohm, breaks off into two paths with your LDR and your LED, and they both return to ground and return to the negative side of the battery. During daylight, the flow is going to start from here on the positive side, travel through the 330 ohm, and go to the LDR, which means that the LED is not going to get any light at all, or any current, so it won't power up. But the current from the LDR will then go back to ground and return to the negative side. And then during nighttime, the LDR then acts as a infinite or really strong resistor, so it's going to allow the current to flow through the LED instead of the LDR and return back to the negative side. So here I have the parallel series circuit. When I turn on the power supply, the LED glows really bright. Once I move the light closer to the LED, to the photosensor, you really can't see it here, but the LED starts to dim. So it shows that once the photosensor picks up light, it starts to power off or allow less current to flow through to the LED. Here's your transistor schematic. It starts from up here and it breaks off into two paths, two parallels pretty much. One with your 100k ohm, the other one with 300k ohm, which is connected to series with the LED and the transistor. And then you have your photosensor connected to your 100k ohm. During daylight, the current's going to go through the first path and go straight to the 100k ohm. And it's going to flow through to the photosensor. And since the photosensor is picking up light, it's going to allow it to flow through the current. It's going to allow the current to flow straight to the negative side of the battery, but it will allow some of the voltage to go to the transistor, which will let the LED kind of like turn on but dim. And then at nighttime, the current's going to go through both the 100k ohm and the 300k ohm LED. And they'll, instead of the current from the 100k ohm going through the photosensor, it'll go straight to the transistor and connect with the 300k ohm current over there. And then flow through the transistor and go all the way back to the negative side of the thing. But some voltage will be able to go to the photosensor. So here's the transistor circuit. You have your 330 ohm, your 100k ohm, hooked up to your photosensor, which is connected to ground, 3 jumper cables. And you also have your 330 connected to your LED. And then the cables are all connected to the transistor right here, with the yellow one connecting it to ground. When I turn on the battery supply, the LED turns on, but it's really, really dim. which means like it's like on standby, letting little current flow to it. But once I start to cover the photosensor, the LED starts to get brighter, which essentially is like a night light. Correction. The circuit actually has only 2 series and 1 parallel, not 2 parallel and 2 series.